Misconceptions. They're a fascinating part of fandom culture, aren't they? Ideas that start as a whisper, a theory, a hot take, and then, through sheer repetition, they calcify into something resembling fact. They spread through word of mouth, through comment sections, through trusted sources. And as a One Piece fan, I'm no stranger to this. You want to know how many times someone has told me, well, Oda said this or Oda said that. But when you actually go looking for a source, Oda never said that shit. Sometimes these misconceptions are harmless, but other times an interpretation can become so powerful, so widespread, that it casts an endless shadow over a story, fundamentally changing how a generation of fans engage with a character. Sometimes this is sparked by a single influential voice. Now, this isn't to send any hate towards these creators, but this is to sort of point out how a powerful interpretation can become a dominant lens, a default setting for viewing a character. And there is no greater, more misunderstood interpretation in Hunter x Hunter than the idea that its protagonist, this boy, is a psychopath. So today, we're going to dismantle that idea. We're going to bring forth an all-encompassing case against the notion of Gon Freaks as a psychopath. And in doing so, we're hopefully going to uncover what he truly represents. So, this is a deep dive into the heart of a boy who is far more complex than he's given credit for, and far more human than you've been led to believe. Before we can even argue that Gon isn't a psychopath, we need to first of all establish clearly what a psychopath actually is. I mean, it's a term that gets thrown around quite a lot, often as a catch-all for any character who acts violently or immorally. But in the clinical sense, psychopathy is a specific neuropsychiatric disorder with a defined set of traits. At its core, psychopathy is characterized by a profound lack of empathy. It's not that they don't understand emotions intellectually, it's that they don't feel them in a way that connects them to others. This leads to other key traits: a distinct lack of remorse or guilt for the actions, a manipulative and deceitful nature, pathological lying, and a grandiose sense of self-worth. Their mental wiring is fundamentally different. They are poor at processing fear and punishment cues, which is why they often engage in persistent antisocial behavior without any learning from consequences. Now, does Hunter x Hunter have characters who fit this mold? Absolutely. I mean, Hisoka, with his self-serving, manipulative hedonism, is one to look at. Illumi, with his cold, emotionless pursuit of his family's goals. And in some ways, the Phantom trope operates with collective sociopathy. But Gon? Gon does not fit this profile. And to understand why, you kind of have to go back to the very beginning, to the origin of his name and the first lesson that shaped his worldview. Gon's name is likely derived from a classic Japanese folktale called Gon the Little Fox, or Gon Gitsune. It's the story of a mischievous but kind-hearted fox who, after causing an accidental tragedy for a human villager, is overcome with remorse. To atone, Gon the Fox secretly leaves gifts for the villager every day. But the villager doesn't know who is leaving the gifts, and in a tragic misunderstanding, shoots the fox, only realizing the truth as the little creature lies dying. It's a powerful story about kindness, misunderstanding, and the devastating weight of consequence. This story is a perfect mirror for Gon's own journey, and is established ironically in his first appearance in the manga, an appearance that the 2011 anime unforgivably cuts. And to be honest, I'm not surprised that so much of the misunderstanding around Gon's character stems from this omission, because this scene is the bedrock of his entire moral framework. A young Gon is attacked by a mother fox bear. He is saved by a hunter named Kite, who then prepares to kill the fox bear's cub out of mercy. But Gon, in a fit of pure empathy, throws himself in front of the cub to protect it. Kite punches Gon, not out of malice but to teach him a lesson. His carelessness, his ignorance of the natural world, is what caused the situation in the first place. He forced the mother to attack and Kite to kill her. It was a lesson in consequence. But more than that, in that moment, Gon saw himself in the scared, cornered fox cub. It was a lesson in empathy, in the value of life, and in the interconnectedness of the world around him. This, along with Kite's words, shaped his entire worldview. A worldview that is not psychotic, but deeply, almost radically, empathetic. So, if you're a fan of Hunter x Hunter, you know that Togashi loves to play with meta ideas in his writing, and Gon represents one of his most profound. Gon is essentially a conduit for the green, a boy of the soil, a living representation of nature itself. He is instinctual, pure-hearted, and driven by a desire to connect and understand. I mean, think about it. When we first see him, he's not in a city. He's one with the green, trying to catch the master of the swamp. His design, the wild spiky hair like contained foliage, the iconic green outfit screams nature. Killua even says that Gon is like the sun, a life-giving force. Togashi's own art reinforces this constantly, with countless drawings and cover pages showing Gon blending seamlessly with animals, a boy completely at home in the natural world. This isn't just an aesthetic choice, it's a thematic statement. Kai tells him that a good hunter is one who is loved by animals. Gon is loved by animals because, on a fundamental level, he is one of them. He operates in a pure, almost primal logic. This is also where his upbringing with Aunt Mito becomes so critical. Mito is his anchor. She is the one who grounds him, who instills in him the values of love, responsibility, and kindness. If Gon is the wild, untamed force of nature, Mito is the careful gardener, pruning the overgrown weeds and ensuring that his wild energy grows towards the sun. She provides the moral structure that his instinctual nature needs. So, where does the psychopath interpretation come from? Well, it often stems from moments when Gon appears to show a reckless disregard for his own safety, like his willingness to blow off his own arms to defeat Genthru. But this isn't a lack of fear, it's a hyper-focus born of his simple, unwavering worldview. In his mind, the logic is quite clear. If I can do this, I can stop the bad man from hurting more people. It's not a deranged act, it's the ultimate expression of his simplistic, black and white morality. A morality that is about to be shattered into a million pieces. The Chimera Ant arc is a masterpiece of subversive storytelling, and one of its most infamous and most repeated and frankly disturbing takeaways has become a meme at this point. Gon lost his humanity and Meruem gained his. I've seen this line everywhere, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and with all due respect, I kind of disagree with it. Because this arc has nothing to do with one character gaining humanity and another losing it. It's about a fundamental shift in perspective. We, the audience, start the arc with a simple view. The Chimera Ants are inherently evil monsters and the humans are the poor souls that they prey upon. But Togashi slowly but brilliantly deconstructs this. He forces us to see the wider scope. The ants are a newborn race, operating on biological programming with little understanding of the world. The humans are an older race with an incredible understanding of their world, but also an unending capacity for malice that exists within them. This is crystallized in Netero's final moments. His speech to Meruem isn't about the goodness of humanity, it's about its bottomless potential for evolution, which in the original manga is written with the kanji for malice. Netero doesn't defeat him with the power of friendship, he defeats him with a weapon of mass destruction, a testament to humanity's terrifying ingenuity. The arc deconstructs the very idea of humanity as an inherently good concept, and ant as an inherently bad one. Meruem doesn't gain humanity, he gains nuance. He learns what it means to have something that you want to protect, not just something that you need to conquer. And this brings us back to Gon. The point of his journey in this arc was never to show him transform into a monster. It was to show his simple, pure, nature-based worldview get systematically broken. It was about watching his moral framework get challenged, cracked, and then utterly shattered in a very short space of time. I mean, think about his core beliefs. Pillar 1, the value of life and the wrongness of killing without reason. This is immediately challenged by the very existence of the ants. Pillar 2, the idea that strength is for protecting others. This is broken when he realizes that his own weakness led to Kite's capture. Pillar 3, the belief in fairness and promises. This is annihilated when Pito, after promising to heal Kite, reveals that he's already dead. Each of these moments is a hammer blow to his soul. The guilt, the grief, and the loss of Kite, the man who built that framework in the first place, takes an increasing toll. Killua notes it several times. The light in Gon's eyes, the very sun that defined him, begins to dim. His actions, which are often cited as psychopathic, such as threatening Komugi, lashing out on Killua, are not the actions of a boy who feels nothing. They are the actions of a boy who feels everything, all at once, and doesn't have the emotional or philosophical tools to process it. His framework is gone. He no longer understands what is right or wrong, what is fair or unfair. He is lost in a sea of grief and rage. Now this is where Gon's role as an agent of Mother Earth becomes so terrifyingly literal. Nature itself is pure, it gives life, it gives warmth. But when it's pushed, when it's damaged by outside forces, it can become a horror, a whirlpool of nightmares, a hurricane of destruction, an earthquake that tears the world apart. This is what happened to Gon. His pure, simple nature, when broken, unleashed a cataclysmic force. His transformation isn't him becoming a monster. It's him becoming a natural disaster, an embodiment of pure, destructive grief. The malice he displays is tied directly to his Nen, a vow so powerful that it sacrifices everything, his entire future, for a single moment of focused retribution. It's the ultimate consequence, born from the breaking of his core ideals. But here is the single most important piece of evidence that separates him from a true psychopath: remorse. After the storm has passed, after he is healed, what does he do? He apologizes. He expresses deep, genuine remorse for the horrible things he said, especially to Killua. He feels the weight of his actions. A psychopath feels no such weight. They might apologize to manipulate a situation, but they would never feel the soul-crushing guilt that Gon displays. His apology to Killua is the first step in rebuilding his shattered self. And that rebuilding process is the entire point of the final arc of the anime. His meeting with Gin is not the triumphant climax of a hero's journey. It's a quiet, grounding moment. Ging doesn't congratulate him on becoming a great hunter. He gives him practical, fatherly advice. He tells him to apologize to those he has wronged and to figure out what he wants to do now. The famous silent chapter, when they sit atop the world tree, isn't just them hanging out. It's Gon reconstructing his belief system, piece by piece, with the man who started it all. Ying's final words to him are the crux of this entire video. Enjoy the little detours to the fullest, because that's where you'll find the things more important than what you actually want. Now I know this is kind of like a rephrasing of what he actually says, but this is basically telling Gon to move past his black and white, goal-oriented thinking and to embrace the nuance of the journey. He is giving him the tools to build a new, stronger moral framework. So, where does that journey end? It ends with him returning home to Whale Island, to Aunt Mito, his moral anchor. His return to her signifies the completion of this reconstruction. He has faced the abyss, been consumed by it, and has been pulled back by his friends and family. He has a new understanding of himself and the world. The Nen, the physical manifestation of his life force and will, is gone for now, perhaps as a spiritual representation that his old, broken self had to fade away for a new one to grow. He is no longer just the untamed force of nature. He is a boy who understands the garden, who understands the need for care, for balance, for nuance. To end it, Gon Freaks is not a psychopath. He is a child, a boy who was forced to confront the absolute worst of the world, and it broke him. But his story is not about that breaking. It's about how, with the help of those who love him, he painstakingly put himself back together. He is a story of consequence, of grief, and ultimately of healing. He's a testament to the idea that even after the most violent storm, the sun can and will find a way to shine again.